Welcome to this masterclass. Today, we're going to completely dismantle a pervasive myth in higher education, the idea that campus safety is simply about meeting regulatory compliance or ticking a few boxes. Instead, we are redefining safety as a critical operational framework for institutional resilience. Listen, a world-class university simply cannot achieve excellence in research or education without an elite, highly structured system protecting its people and its assets. So let's dive right in and learn exactly how top-tier institutions build out these robust systems.
Here is our rigorous curriculum for this session. 1. The safety management paradigm. 2. Legal and operational frameworks. 3. Advanced hazard risk assessment. 4. Executing critical safety controls. 5. Institutional safety culture. And 6. Continuous optimization. Let's get started.
Section 1. The Safety Management Paradigm.
To manage the sheer complexity of modern campus hazards, and we're talking everything from cutting-edge chemical laboratories to sprawling public facilities, elite institutions have to fundamentally upgrade their operational mindset. For decades, the outdated model was reactive compliance. You essentially waited for accidents, regulatory fines, or injuries to happen, and then scrambled to fix them. But the world-class standard? That's the Proactive Safety Management System, or SMS. This is about seamlessly integrating safety into everyday operations to actively prevent failures before they ever have a chance to occur. So, what exactly is an SMS? Let's get precise here. A safety management system is a structured framework of policies, procedures, responsibilities, and resources working together to systematically manage safety risks. Now, what's absolutely crucial about this definition is the emphasis on the word system. An SMS is not just a dusty binder of rules sitting on a shelf somewhere. It's an integrated, living, operational engine.
To build that engine, top-tier management consultants use a structured methodology known as PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, and Act. This model is essentially the central spine of our masterclass today. It shows you exactly how you take a theoretical safety strategy and translate it into relentless, cyclical operational execution.
Section 2. Designing legal and operational frameworks. Look, a robust safety strategy means absolutely nothing if it isn't legally defensible and structurally sound. We have to look at how safety is governed at the very highest levels of the university. The University of Southern Queensland provides a phenomenal case study for this. Notice how they integrate complex legal requirements directly into their institutional architecture. They built their framework on 4 distinct pillars: governance, assurance and compliance, risk management, and capability and culture. This guarantees that every single student, contractor, and employee is covered by a standardized, legally compliant approach.
Which brings us to a crucial, non-negotiable point. A legally defensible system starts at the very top. As the saying goes, the direction for and strength of the safety culture is determined by its leaders. In an academic institution, executive accountability has to flow clearly from the president and provost all the way down to college deans, department chairs, and principal investigators. You simply cannot delegate ultimate accountability.
To see how that high-level leadership commitment translates into daily operations, take a look at this job specification for a safety manager at Henley Business School. It is not vague. It mandates the establishment of a hazard reporting system, maintaining a risk register, continuous performance monitoring, and emergency response planning. It perfectly translates high-level strategy into actionable, trackable, and deeply professional operational responsibilities.
Section 3. Advanced Hazard Risk Assessment. Now we're moving into the plan phase of our operational cycle, where we deploy HIRA, Hazard Identification and Risk Assessment. Think of this as the essential diagnostic tool for your entire safety program, utilized to identify vulnerabilities across highly varied campus environments. It's a structured methodology used to systematically identify, evaluate, and prioritize operational hazards before they result in incidents. Frankly, you cannot control a risk that you haven't identified. So how do we execute a HIRA before those incidents occur? It is a rigorous 6-stage process. First, systematically identify the hazards in the environment. Second, determine who or what is exposed to them. Third, assess the likelihood of an incident actually occurring. Fourth, assess the potential consequences or severity. Fifth, evaluate the overall risk level. And finally, stage 6, implement targeted controls. This is the exact step-by-step thinking process you need to systematically neutralize institutional vulnerabilities. Section 4. Executing critical safety controls.
Once we've planned our risk strategy, we absolutely have to execute it. Shifting from strategy to our tactical do phase, we look to the University of Michigan's Chemical Hygiene Plan. This is a gold standard for executing safety controls in highly complex research settings. It meticulously outlines standard operating procedures, medical surveillance, and emergency responses for some of the most dangerous materials on the planet.
To understand why a plan that rigorous is needed, just consider the high-risk laboratory hazards modern universities manage every single day. We're talking about pyrophoric materials that spontaneously ignite in the air, cryogenic liquids sitting at negative 320 degrees Fahrenheit, select carcinogens, and highly explosive compounds. These severe physical and chemical hazards demand uncompromising, flawless operational controls.
To manage these severe risks, elite safety managers utilize what's called the hierarchy of controls. Step 1 is always engineering controls. That means physically removing the hazard, using things like fume hoods or specialized ventilation. Step 2 relies on administrative controls, like rigorous training and SOPs. Step 3 is personal protective equipment, or PPE. Here is a vital professional insight for you. PPE is always your last line of defense. It is never your primary strategy.
Section 5. Cultivating institutional safety culture.
Here's the reality. The best engineering controls and the most detailed chemical hygiene plans in the world will inevitably fail if the behavioral psychology of your institution is broken. A strong culture demands crystal clear lines of authority. Executive leaders set the vision and assume legal accountability. Deans and managers implement those systems and conduct periodic oversight. And principal investigators, the faculty actually running the labs, are responsible for developing specific SOPs and actively enforcing training. Culture flows top-down. Everyone has a dedicated, specific role.
The profound truth we must recognize is this: a safety management system succeeds or fails largely because of culture. Paper compliance is absolutely useless if the lived, daily culture of the staff and student body just ignores the rules. Culture dictates what people do when nobody is watching. Do they actually wear their safety goggles when they're alone in the lab? That is the true ultimate test of your SMS.
Section 6. Continuous optimization and auditing. To ensure continuous improvement during the check and act phases, world-class institutions use robust tools like standardized hazard identification and safety inspection checklists. This is a highly practical, powerful tool for conducting regular and, crucially, unscheduled audits. Periodic inspections prevent systemic decay. They ensure that the hazards you identified during the planning phase are actually being managed by the controls you implemented in the doing phase.
When institutions fail to audit, they fall victim to common, predictable compliance failures. We see outdated policies, incomplete risk assessments, poor record keeping, inadequate training documentation, weak contractor oversight, and perhaps the most dangerous of all, the failure to actually close out audit findings. Ignoring an identified risk exposes universities to massive regulatory fines, severe reputational damage, and horrific operational tragedies. To avoid those failures entirely, the ultimate global benchmark for world-class occupational health and safety is the ISO 45001 standard. Whether they are formally certified or not, elite institutions build their masterclass level programs on these exact principles. They integrate proactive leadership, active worker and student participation, and risk-based thinking to drive continuous, relentless operational optimization. As we wrap up this masterclass, I want to leave you with a final, provocative challenge to evaluate your own campus resilience. Ask yourself this: is your institution's safety program just a dusty binder sitting on a shelf for compliance? Or is it a lived, integrated operational culture? The safety of your people and the legacy of your institution depend entirely on your answer. Take these professional frameworks and implement them today.